Summer is not just a break. It is an absolute transition season. In today's podcast, I'm going to talk about the hidden emotional weight of Maycember for parents and teachers. In this podcast, we're going to talk about what no one tells parents or teachers about summer break, why it feels so overwhelming, and what it reveals more than what you think. Welcome to the Redream Education Podcast. I'm Makenzie Oliver, microschool founder, educator, coach, and believer in the power of starting small, dreaming boldly, and rebuilding the future of education one courageous step at a time. If you're here, it's because something in your life, your classroom, your family, your child, your community, or your calling is asking for a new dream, a wiser dream, a redream. This podcast is where we challenge the old models, rethink what learning can be, and build innovative pathways for children, families, and communities. Each week, you'll gain the systems, strategies, stories, and soul work you need to design personalized learning, understand how education is changing for the better, start or scale a micro school, lead with confidence, make a change for your family, and create an education model that actually works for today's world. Because you aren't just dreaming of something different, you are building it. This is a space where we re-envision what school can be, reimagine how children learn, and rebuild the systems that were never designed to meet the needs of our future and current generation. This is a podcast to redream education as we share insights, strategies, stories, and tools to teach our children better, transform learning at home, support innovative education models, and invest financially or personally in the future of students everywhere. Because you aren't just dreaming about a better education, you're part of the movement to create it. Welcome to the Redream Education Podcast. This is where the future begins. In last week's podcast episode, I discussed summer planning. And we focused on 4 key domains: camps, creativity, community building, and caregiving. In today's podcast, we're going to build off of that same concept, but discuss a little bit deeper into a summer that can feel like burnout before we even begin. Because there's pressure. And there is a reality that parents and teachers are carrying. Typically in summer, regardless if we're prepared for it or not, there is something that is exposed. Summer, yes, this beautiful break that we're all just so excited about. We have these lofty visions, these ideas of beaches and traveling and downtime and sleeping in. But summer, very quickly, can expose, and this has happened to me, weak routines, overstimulation, dependency on schools and routines, screen habits, lack of community, exhaustion, even marriage stress, overpacked schedules, and a lack of independence in our children. This is what summertime exposes. Yes, because we have built our life around a culture of August through May. This is what this time period looks like. And then we get jolted into summer. We're excited about it. And then we slowly start to see those little cracks in the system. Summer truly does have a way of revealing what the school year was covering up. You could find yourself seeing your children relying on constant entertainment. You as a parent could realize that your children don't know how to play independently or cook or clean, pick up their rooms, do their laundry. There could be emotional regulation struggles. There could be a loss of structure, which exposes burnout in everyone. And this is relatable to all of us. I think parents and teachers are secretly exhausted before summer even starts. This can be a huge emotional toll. You may find yourself financially exhausted, mentally overloaded, emotionally touched out, carrying invisible labor, trying to make summer magical. And then there's this pressure of creating memories and this comparison culture online. You might find yourself scrolling social media more. You might find yourself guilted into expensive vacations and maybe even the guilt of having to work. But I want you to realize and to normalize that a successful summer does not need to be extravagant. As a matter of fact, some of the best summers I've ever had with my children were not extravagant. There could be this overscheduled summer problem. Some families swing vroom straight from school structure directly into camp overload. You may find that your kids really are truly never resting. They could be constantly transitioning from camp to home, to play dates, to camp again, to home, to the park, to the playground. And you've just jam-packed all of these activities into every week. You could find yourself having emotional dysregulation from overstimulation because you were so afraid that your children were not going to be structured in the summer. And if you listen to last week's podcast, you could be like, well, wait a minute, you talk so much about camps and having a plan and having a structure. And I still believe in this, but I believe that we also have to have margin, and we also need to just focus on one thing a week, not 14 things a week, and 5 of them being all in one day. And I'm an all or nothing kind of girl, so I struggle with this myself. There's this balance that we all are trying to have with rhythms and resting and experiences and downtime. I crave that so much. If you want to see me dysregulated, ask me to bebop around town to so many places. From a dentist appointment to Chipotle to back to the school, then to soccer practice, then, oh, I forgot, we got to pick up a prescription at CVS. Oh, don't forget, got to work out. Oh, got to go let the dogs out. Oh, back to CVS because I forgot to get toilet paper. Oh, wait, are there any groceries? Oh no, I forgot to pack snacks for tomorrow. And we think, but it's summertime. I've got all the freedom and the flexibility of my schedule. It's still important to create pillars of consistency in your routine while also making sure that you are managing rest, that you are not driving all over the city or the state trying to entertain your children. I know as a teacher, many of us often enter summer dysregulated, and this is deeper than burnout. I know for myself, I have a very difficult time being able to relax immediately because our nervous systems are still staying on. You may even find yourself guilty for resting. And for me, I know, and I've spoken to a handful of teachers who feel like they've lost their identity outside of teaching when they have the summer break. Some teachers just crash into June. Some even get sick immediately after school ends. There's decision fatigue and there's emotional labor. This podcast is not to bring up all of the creepy, dark things that we're not wanting to face in the summer. But I'm here to normalize how we often feel. And mid-June, we're like, what's wrong? What's wrong with me? What's wrong with my children? What's wrong with our routines? This is awful. I thought we were going to have the best summer ever. So it's important that we all look at summer as a transition season, not just a break. And this is truly powerful. Some summer transitions are very natural. Like for our household, the summer is transitioning from high school to college for my daughter. For my middle schooler to transition into high school. It could be kindergartners coming from preschool, seniors into adulthood, teachers into uncertainty, families into new rhythms. So there could be identity shifts. There could be emotional processing. There could be even grief over seasons ending and an absolute fear of the unknown. If you are a teacher, a homeschooling parent, or a brand new microschool founder who is trying to figure out what comes next, you need to hear this. Micro School Masterminds is the community and coaching program I wish I had when I first stepped out of the classroom and built our micro school. Yes, straight from the living room to now nearly over 100 students thriving in year 6. This is where teachers and founders finally get the roadmap, the support, and the systems to create a thriving micro school without burning out. Inside Micro School Masterminds, you will receive weekly live coaching with me and other powerful professionals who discuss strategy, solutions, and provide personal support. You also receive step-by-step modules to build your school legally, financially, and operationally. Marketing enrollment done for you with training that works even if you've never advertised before, and you can learn this on your own time through our Micro School Masterminds classroom modules. Worried about multi-age classrooms or curriculum? We've got you covered with our curriculum planning resources. You receive templates, checklists, scripts, and systems for marketing, financial systems, operations, community building, and growth. Everything is ready for you to plug in and go. Most importantly, you have access to a powerful community of other founders who understand your dreams and your fears. Whether you're starting really slow, or you're still teaching the classroom and you're dreaming of breaking free, or you're already running your micro school but feeling overwhelmed, trying to figure out also how to build a hybrid program. This is a place where you gain clarity, confidence, and of course, a plan. Because you don't have to do this alone. You deserve guidance, you deserve support, and your micro school deserves to grow with ease, not chaos. If you're ready to redream education and take the next step, join us inside Micro School Masterminds, where together we are building this education system better. Head over to redreameducation.com/masterminds to learn more. Again, that's redreameducation.com/masterminds. Goodness gracious, that is exactly how I feel right now. I've been working through my daughter's helping her to prepare for college summer classes into the summer, while also preparing for graduation for her, family coming into town, my middle schooler's golden 14th birthday, her moving into high school, trying out for a new soccer league, ending our school year at our micro school, preparing for summer, watching our kids grow up and realizing that summers change as our children's age, maybe grieving old traditions while also trying to create new ones. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I miss the days of just sitting out in a lawn chair and watching my daughters play in the water hose with popsicles. It's so emotional, and it was so authentic, and it was so easy. And picking camps here and picking camps there, trying out new things, getting ice cream at 2:00 in the afternoon. Let's talk about what our children actually remember about summer. Yes, they're going to remember trips, but not the most expensive ones. They don't typically remember all of the elaborate plans. They're going to remember music in the kitchen, cousins, late nights, neighborhood games, laughter, consistency, feeling safe, popsicles outside, seeing people that they haven't seen in a long time, riding bikes, roller skating, going to the swimming pool. We can't forget that summer has a real screen time reality. We all know that during the summer, there is parental survival. Come on, let's be real. Screens become babysitters. There's a dopamine overload. And you know, and I know, our children struggle emotionally after excessive screen use, even if they're in middle school or high school, especially in the younger years. So we have to be prepared for realistic boundaries, replacement activities, and just to create default boredom options. And if your children say, I'm bored, one of our wonderful teachers at school says, congratulations, that's so exciting. I can't wait to see what you come up with. Instead of feeling shame. Here's what I hope that teachers and parents stop carrying into summer. Guilt, comparison, pressure, perfection. Teachers, I hope that you can let go of resentment, constant productivity, and identity tied only to teaching. There has to be a part of summer that feels therapeutic. And this is where summer creativity is truly rebuilt. Yes, we can send our children to camps, and that is so useful and so valuable. Yes, we can try to build community, but if that's been difficult for you during the school year when you see people constantly, it can be even more difficult during the summertime. So what can you do consistently to build community, even if it is starting to join a church, join a new group, go to the same place consistently every week? Creativity dies when we are in survival mode, but creativity in the summer can be an opportunity to be rebuilt because summer restores imagination and boredom does matter. Outdoor play changes our children. And slower living really does matter. So as we end this podcast episode, I want you to think about what you want to be by August. If you're a parent, ask yourself, by the time August rolls around, what rhythms do I want to have created? What memories do I want to have had matter? What kind of home atmosphere do I want to have set up as we move into the school year? Teachers, ask yourself, how do you want to enter August? Depleted or restored? What are you rebuilding? What are you dreaming about? What needs to change? This is very reflective. These are not just tips. This is a deeper idea of moving into summer and taking what I just questioned you about, rhythms, memories, atmospheres, dreams. What needs to be changed? What can be restorative? Begin with the end in mind and break it down from that goal. How can you make sure that you're implementing it into the summertime? And this is going to require you to not just play another podcast after this episode, to sit down with some coffee, sit outside in the morning, listen to the birds, have a blank notebook, have out your planner. Don't even think about your calendar. Have out a journal and start breaking down how you can utilize creativity, community building, camps, and caregiving to project you into this ultimate goal of what you want August to look like and to feel like. Rather than planning, as we mentioned in the last episode, I hope this episode feels more like reflection, emotional honesty, identity, rhythms, transitions, restoration. And while you may have already started making a plan, start thinking about a purpose. Start considering summer as a summer transition season, not just a summer plan. Use this to rebuild your family, to rebuild yourself, to rebuild your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. And think about how all of the planning that you have started, or maybe you haven't started. Maybe you needed to listen to this episode first before you start planning so that you truly can make yourself and your family feel better at the end of summer than what you felt before it even began. It is time to redream education and to actually take that next step. Join us in Microschool Masterminds every single week for live group coaching, self-paced modules, and of course, a powerful community. Head on over to redreameducation.com/masterminds and join us in our free Facebook group at Redream Education Microschool Community. To learn more, that's redreameducation.com/masterminds.